This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be building our own park. It's going to be all about the bears. We're going to have polar bears and panda bears and Goji bears and koala bears. Today we're talking about Barenpark. This is from Mayfair Games in North America, but through Lookout Games from Europe. It is for 2 to 4 players. This is a tile drafting and laying game. Let me show you how it's played, and I'll see you on the other side. At the beginning of the game, everyone gets to choose their Barenpark's country. In this case, it's an English country, and here we have Japan. But if you flip the boards over, there's other countries and languages on it, and there's a total of 4 boards, so 8 different countries you can play with. Now, over the course of the game, everyone's going to be getting different pieces of a Barenpark and enclosures, and they're going to be trying to place them in their park. Now, depending where you are in turn order, you'll get at least one piece, and different ones depending on what player you are. So what you're going to do is first you can place this anywhere as your first piece, and you're trying to cover up some of these things because they'll get you additional pieces. So if I place this right here on top of the green wheelbarrow, I will get to take another piece that's a wheelbarrow. So here on the left you see the wheelbarrow. I can take any one of these green places like this. Now there's a certain amount of these depending on the amount of players. There's always 10 outhouses and playgrounds, but there's a different amount of rivers and food rows depending on the amount of players. By the way, there is a misprint on this board just in case you're playing the game. This actually says that it scales for players for this. That was wrong. It was actually supposed to point to here, and then this one is always 10. So this says 10x, and it was actually this one that was supposed to be 10x. So a little misprint on the board if you're trying to figure it out. But anyways, I can take one of these. I'll take one of these, and it'll be the next player's turn. Now it's my turn. Now after the first piece, I have to place the piece adjacent, not diagonal, but at least adjacent to one of the pieces that's already in my park somewhere. So I have to play either here, here, or here right now. Now I bought this river, and I'm going to cover it up like this. Now you can never go on top of the red tape. But when I cover this, I'm going to cover 2 things. One is I'm going to get another piece as a wheelbarrow. Here I get to construct. I actually get to build my Barenpark up, and I can do it in any order. There'll be 2 tiles of land that I can pick. I can pick either one of these that I like, and maybe I just take this one, and that's the one I'll take. Now I immediately put that in my park. I have to keep it the same direction as the things go. I can't turn it in different ways, and I can never put it like in front of the entrance of my park. I could put it to the side here, I could put it up here, I could put it over here, but let's say for now, I just place it like this, and you must make it so that they all line up just like that. Then I'm also going to take another one of those wheelbarrow items. And so let's say I just took the food row, and that would be the end of my turn. Well, let's say it comes back around to me, it's my turn again. I'm going to take this and place it somewhere. Now let's say I go like this. I'm going to cover a truck and a wheelbarrow. Now the truck allows me to take some of these homes. So we have homes for koalas and pandas and polar bears and Goji bears. And as you go down, depending on the amount of players in here, you'll actually get, it'll go like 6 points, then 4 points, then 2 points, and this will scale for the number of players shown here on the board. So let's say I take the koala bear. So I would take this. This will be 6 points at the end of the game. And let's say it's my next turn. I'm going to place this right here, and it's going to cover this tractor. Now when I get a tractor, I can choose any one of these enclosures. Only one of each of these, but they are high points and they're huge. Now, by the way, anytime you have the tractor or the truck, if you don't want to or can't take anything, you can always take something of lesser value. So I could even take a green wheelbarrow piece if I wanted. Now let's just say I take that one. And I've sped it up through a few different turns. Now let's say I have a piece here and I'm going to cover this. I get a truck, but as soon as you've covered up everything except that red tape area, you're going to take the highest point total of the bear statue. And these scale differently for the different amount of players. This is a 2-player game. And then I would get to place it on there and finish that piece. Now, as you're placing pieces on your board, you can actually join 2 pieces. You can never go off your board, you can never go on top of things, and you can never overlap, but you can bring 2 boards together like that. Now this continues until the first player is able to cover up their entire board. Everybody else will get one last turn. Then you're just going to simply count up all the points on your Barenpark, whereas the most is the winner. Now there's also an advanced variant. There's many different tiles you can use. You use only 3 types of tiles. I'll put a bunch of them out here for you to see. But like for this one, if you have 3 types of tiles that have polar bears on them, if you're the first one, you would get this for 8 points, and then it goes down like that. Now there's typically, depending on the amount of players, you'll have a different amount of tiles there, but there's always 3 different ones. This one will get you points if you're able to enclose and get 2 bear statues, finishing 2 different boards on the same turn. Here, if you have 3 different food rows all in one big line, you'd get this. Here, if you have 3 rivers making one big river, you'd get this. Here, if you have all 4 different types of homes, you have the polar bears, you have the Goji bears, the koalas, and the panda bears, you'd get this. If you have 3 of either the pandas or the koalas, you get these. So another thing to think about, and there's 3 different types for each game. All right, well, there's Barenpark. Now, this is designed by Phil Walker Harding, who's done a lot of really popular games. He did the archaeology card game that just recently got reprinted. He did Emotep, which was, nominated for Spiel des Jahres. He's done Cacao, which is another tile-laying game that I really like from him. So he's done some really popular stuff. So I was really interested in this, and I gotta say, this game is awesome. I love it. I typically love puzzle games. I like tile drafting games. I like tile laying games. It's weird because I don't find myself really enjoying spatial aspects of things, but for some reason this one just clicked. So I really love the puzzly aspect of this. Now, you're watching this and you may have saying, hey, this is kind of like patchwork. Well, it's similar that you're, grabbing different pieces that look different, kind of like Tetris pieces, and you're trying to put them on your own board. So from that point, yes, it does feel a little bit like patchwork, but it kind of took the economic part of it out of it, where the buttons, which is the part I loved about that game the most, but I didn't miss it at all because there's so many other things to think about in this game. Now, I have not played Cottage Garden, which is up to a 4-player game that's a tile-laying game as well like this. I've not played that, but I'm going to be looking forward to comparing that with this. But this one's a lot of fun because it's pretty simple. Actually, it's very simple. I taught my wife this game, who is not a big gamer, and she had fun with it, and immediately we wanted to play again, and it's gonna be going on her shelf because she liked it so much. And it's so simple. You're just gonna place a tile and then get another tile, hopefully, if you've placed somewhere cool on your board, like the wheelbarrows and the trucks and the big tractors. And after you place your first tile, you're just placing adjacent. That's it. And you're trying to get the things fast because the faster you get there, the more points there are. And it's interesting because you're like, you gotta think like a turn or two ahead and go, if I go like there, I can get the truck, which allow me to get that. Then I can build this, and I can get the construction and get a new board, but where am I gonna put the board? There's 2 choices out there now. Oh, if I get that one, I can put it there. And you just start, and it's like, it's simple, but man, it's just very pleasant. It's such a fun game. I really enjoyed it. So, I mean, if you like tile-laying games at all, this is a cool one. Now, especially if you're the type of person that doesn't like to be messing around. Like, my wife loves Carcassonne, and she actually loves building the one big city, but some people would rather build their own thing, and it's here with that. Now, I love Carcassonne, don't get me wrong. I like building the whole big city, but there's something about trying to build my own board here that I really liked. I like trying to race to try to get the right, the panda enclosures, for example, that are more points at that time. I like trying to finish my board quicker so you can get the better bear statue. So it's this interesting balance of trying to get the right things and fill your board up quickly to try to get the points for the bears, but at the same time, trying to get the pieces that are going to give you the most points quickly as well. So there's a great balance here. It's a very simple game. And then when you add the extra variant, I mean, honestly, I'll never play it without the variant, but when you're just teaching someone new, you're playing with someone who's not a gamer, it's great little solid little basic game. But then you add the variants in there, and it does add one more level of thing to think about, 3 different things you could possibly be going for, and it does give that extra layer of depth that I think gamers are going to love. So if you are a gamer, throw in the variants right away. This is one I highly recommend. Now, can I say anything negative about it? Yes, I could say 2 things negative about it. Number 1, I don't think I showed it to you in the overview. Apologize about that, but the storage solution in this game is awful. They give you these 2 little bars that go like this. They make an X, and it kind of splits the board, the box up into 3 spots. It doesn't really work that well. Things spill out all over the place. It doesn't really compartmentalize all the right size pieces with the right things. This thing should have had a bona fide real custom insert that was made for it, even if it's just the normal vacuum seal type, but make it so that the things actually fit right, that it's easy to get parts out. So that was one complaint. The other complaint is I showed you that there was a misprint on the board. I know that they're already fixed it and next printing will be fixed. It's not a big deal. Once you know that, hey, there's only 10 of these pieces, it's pretty easy to figure out that, you don't put 10 here, you put 14 here or something like that. So, but just being known, those are the 2 negative things I could say. But I really love the game, and I liked it so much, I'm keeping it in my gaming library. My wife loved this game, so let's induct it properly with a saxophone serenade.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.